Hello friends of La Huertina de Toni. Welcome to another video where today we are going to see how we can prepare a very simple extract to have much healthier, stronger plants and above all, more resistant to pest attacks. And in the garden, we not only prepare homemade remedies that are fertilizers to improve the nutrients of the plants or preparations to combat pests and fungi. There are other types of preparations to make plants much stronger, much more resistant to pest attacks, to combat diseases or attacks, as I say, from pests that can weaken the plant. For this, we will use a plant that we should all have at home or in our garden, as it provides infinite benefits. This plant is Calendula, which besides being used to prepare this home remedy, also has 7 other benefits for use in the garden. I'll leave you a link on the cards to that video. As I say, an essential plant in our garden. And we already know that Calendula has many medicinal uses, but it also has many uses in the garden, which I will gradually show you on the La Huertina de Toni channel. Today we are going to focus on that invigorating preparation, so let's get started. It is important that the leaves and stems of the calendula are fresh, not fresh, meaning we cut them at the moment we are going to use them. On one hand, we need to collect about 500 grams of calendula plant. We don't need the flowers or the roots. The flowers, in this case, can be used to make a pest repellent infusion or to make natural remedies. On the other hand, we need 5 liters of water, preferably rainwater, and if we don't have it, we should let tap water sit for at least 24 to 48 hours to allow the chlorine to evaporate. And a fundamental step in all homemade remedies with plants to make the most of all the properties of calendula and make the extract much more effective is to chop it. The more we chop it, the better, so that the contact surface with the plant's water is greater. Once well chopped, we are going to add it to the water to start the fermentation process. And it's very important to stir the mixture every day, or at least at a minimum every 2 days. A fundamental step, as we need to oxygenate it to prevent it from rotting, since what we are looking for is the fermentation of the plant. Once stirred, we cover our extract to prevent impurities or little bugs from getting in, and we'll leave it in a place with partial shade or indirect sunlight. By the way, the container should be opaque, and we must repeat this operation for at least 7 days, as I mentioned, every day or every 2 days. Uncover, stir for 5 minutes, and cover again. Fundamental. We uncover, stir for at least 5 minutes, and cover again. After 7 days, we check that the extract is ready, and it is very important to know that if it is ready, it should not smell rotten, and we see that barely any fermentation bubbles appear.
At most bubbles will appear because we are oxygenating at the end, okay? But there shouldn't be fermentation bubbles, a lot of bubbles.
So we have it ready to use. And now we need to strain the mixture to stop the whole process and prevent the calendula from rotting. So with an old t-shirt, a cloth strainer, or a mesh like the one I have here, we can strain our mixture, and the leftover, as always, can be put in the compost bin. To use our extract, if we want to use it now in the garden, we must dilute it for application. In this case, we will dilute 1 part of our calendula extract with 10 parts of water. If we are not going to use it immediately, we can preserve our extract for approximately 2 to 3 months. Although the ideal and most potent is right when we make it. If we want to preserve it, we must put it in an opaque container, covered, and leave it in a shaded place. If we want to preserve it to keep it for later use, we will not dilute it. And to apply our extract, we must do it in the form of watering our plants. It doesn't need to be very abundant, that is, the use of this fortifier.
We don't have to water excessively. Instead, we will apply normal watering, as if we were watering the plant. And you will see how the plants in a few days have much more vigor, much more strength. And if we are used to our plants having pests, we will see how this year they will be much healthier.
The truth is that I don't usually upload this type of extract to the channel, but you will really notice the difference. So nothing more, garden enthusiasts, I hope you liked the video, but above all that it was useful, that you apply it in your gardens and give me feedback on whether it works for you. If it doesn't work, what you thought. So nothing more, see you next Thursday on the La Huertina de Toni channel. See you later.